Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again. Lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL 550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Yo, man, there's so much going on right now, man. It's out of control. So I'm not going to talk about it, but because I haven't been on for a couple days, Don Lemon was arrested. We just want to talk about this real fast. So Don Lemon was arrested. They went and locked him up at like 12 a.m. in L.A. And of course he's saying it was journalism and whatever. But he's facing the same charges as the other people that also was locked up for them storming the church. So we don't know what's going to come out of that. But right now, man, it is crazy times, bro. And the one thing that just can't go away, and we don't know, like, it's so much coming out of this, bro, is the Epstein files. I just wanted to say the Don Lemon thing real fast. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. But right now, the internet is exploding. It's exploding right now with all of these allegations, and big names are involved. JAYZ, Pusha T, the Weinstein guy, also Zoran Mamdani's mother is also in the files. She was like I think she's like a big director or something like that. So yeah, man, it's getting out of control. My thing is this: is this a mass distraction, or is this stuff just really going on? People wanted the Epstein files, now they're getting the Epstein files, and it's not going in the direction that the Democrats kind of wanted it to go, which is they only really wanted the Epstein files dropped because they wanted Trump to be in there. They wanted Trump to be involved. Now, he allegedly was also in this new batch, but just like this Pusha T thing we're going to talk about, is allegedly not from a credible source. So we'll get it. We'll get it. I actually want to play. So we're about to play this video with Nez Nation, and he also talked about Trump being in the Epstein files a few days ago, but I wasn't able to go live and I wasn't able to talk about it. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow. But today he goes in and talks about another situation with Epstein. So before we get into the JAYZ situation, we'll talk about that last. We're going to talk about this right here, and then we're going to get into Brian Maxwell talking about Mamdani, Zohan Mamdani's mother, man. It's just so much going on, bro. It's so much going on. Actually, hold on. Before we start, right? Because I've been having debates lately, right? And there's one guy at my job he be trying to argue with me, but he don't know nothing. And I'm trying to, so he thinks that I supported Trump. I voted for Trump. Like, if you voted for Kamala Harris, I kind of like just feel bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're just voting just because it's not Trump. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, bro, I don't think Trump is a perfect person. I don't think that, he'll tell you that. And I've said this before. My thing is this. I truly think Donald Trump actually cares about America. I think that he's actually trying to, not trying, but I think he's actually doing things that's actually better in America. But they want you to focus on everything but what's really going on. And my thing with the guy I'm debating with is that he don't know nothing. He's talking about ICE and this whole ICE situation because now that's kind of put on the side right now because Jay-Z and these big names are involved in this Epstein drop that just came out. But bro, the ICE thing, I wanted to show this real quick. I wanted to show this real quick because right here we got, so I just put in Google because he just doesn't know. Hold on, let me refresh this. Okay, that should be good. All right, so look, I just put in, all I did was put in how many people died during from ICE during Obama's, administration, right? And it says based on documents obtained through Freedom of Information Act requests, there were 56 recorded deaths in immigration and customs enforcement custody during 8 years of Obama's administration. Now, I'm not saying that this makes anybody dying during Trump's administration good or bad. All I'm saying is people think that Donald Trump, people truly think that Donald Trump is doing something new. Like, bro, it says causes of death were generally attributed to causes such as medical neglect or suicide. Investigative findings in the 2016 report analyzing 17 of these deaths found that in nearly half of the cases, a failure to comply with ICE medical standards contributed to the deaths. It says reports indicate the number averaged roughly 7 deaths per year. Right. So I'm just trying to explain to this guy that bro, ICE isn't new. He truly thought ICE was new. Because why? Because they're putting it out there. It's on the news every day. They're talking about it, and then the Renee Good and the other guy, Alex Petrie, uh, got killed by ICE. Now, I'm not saying it's good or anybody dying is obviously a bad thing. Like, come on, like what are we talking about? That's not even nothing to even argue. All I'm trying to I was trying to shine a light on to him that bro, you're only hearing about it because they want you to hear about it. When all of these things happened under the Obama administration with these illegal immigrants, it wasn't a problem. Nobody truly cared. Maybe 10 people did, right? And now everybody is so, oh, it's about humanity and we all need to. It's not about that, bro. If everybody can live in harmony, I'm all for that. I'm all for that, bro. I'll be the first one to sign up for that. But bro, we have different countries, different nations. Everything is so divided. It's just what it is, bro. Does it make things that's going on right or wrong? No. I'm trying to explain to him that, bro, none of this stuff is happening by, you know, choice. Like ICE is going out trying to kill people. No, it's happening because people are out here trying to interfere with them doing their job. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but bro, you come on, bro. Yo, everything that Trump is doing besides tariffs is all normal shit. Democrats believed in borders just a few years ago. Joe Biden said that he wanted 700 miles of fence before Donald Trump came out and said he wanted to build a wall. They have all it's a bipartisan. It was a bipartisan issue as far as immigration goes, bro. They all wanted immigration reform, but at the same time, they all agreed that people just can't come in the country. That's just what it is. But I just realized, man, that a lot of people don't know the small details. They don't know. And they're just stuck on a plantation, bro, whether it's Republican or Democrat. They're just stuck. And they don't know. Most people don't even know that 56 people died under Obama's watch from immigration. Most people don't even know Tom Holman was the one that was in charge of ICE and the whole immigration thing under Obama. They don't even know that. They think Tom Holman is new. Like he just showed up. He been around. He actually got an award from Obama. Come on, man. Like I just be trying to explain to people it's not about liking Trump or being on Trump's side. It's not about that. It's about the fact that, bro, it's not a coincidence that all of these issues they were just they would agree with not even 10 years ago, but now all of a sudden they want all these illegal immigrants to come in. You know what I mean? There were all of these movements, but it's all distractions, bro. All distractions. And because most people don't understand that it's a distraction from the elections. They want you to don't focus on the election. Not in a way they want Trump to look bad. So when these elections roll around, they vote Democrat. That's it. You know what I mean? They want to get back in power. This is all about power. Everything that we're going to talk about, everything that we do talk about, in the end, it's about power, number one, and then money and so forth. But the money is for the power. People get money to abuse their power or to obtain power. Same thing. But anyway, let's get into it, man. Let's see if I can make this clearer. So, man, how can I get that? Let me see. So, so Nicki Minaj going in right now. But this is the thing, though, man. I don't, I'm so mad, though. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm so mad that my boy Jay-Z is even involved with any of this stuff, man. But unfortunately, man. All right, so how the hell? Trying to make this bigger. Let me see if I can log in. See if I can log in real quick. So it should pull it up. So this was let me see, it was an Instagram post. Let's see. So she said, "Dear Jay-Z, and that's a wrap. You ruin hip hop, you ruin football, you ruin basketball, you ruin touring, you ruin Instagram, you ruin Twitter. The jig is up. All of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only." All right. So what's the next one? So here we go. So it say, let me get this straight. Y'all so-called black savior Jay-Z has a Hispanic CEO who was pardoned by President Trump. Interesting. It says, so does that mean Deseret isn't a Democrat? Black people, I thought y'all hate all Trump supporters. Wait, did Jay-Z ever campaign for Kamala? Hmm. He's benefited so much from the party. When President Obama gave the speech about brothers, why didn't Jigga Man come out and strongly campaign for the Democratic Party at that time? Could it be that y'all have all been hoodwinked? Laugh out loud. Woo-wee. That was so kind of President Trump. And that was so kind of President Obama to passionately go out and campaign. But what did Mr. Jiggaman do to help y'all win the election? He's above speaking out to help his party. Or was it not his party? Is it just about who can benefit him and Deseret at the time? Oh, black people, it looks like the Jigga Man and Deseret played y'all once again. Laughing my ass off. The jig is up. So, let me see. Complex Music says Nicki Minaj took the X to air out her frustrations against Jay-Z, Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez, and more in a series of posts. Bio details. I like Jay-Z music. I like some Nicki music. Celebrities are entertaining, and not once have I felt like they were gonna save me from anything. That's a fact. Jay-Z cannot live. Multiple files. Nicki, please. While supporting multiple PDF files. Okay. Did Nicki Minaj ever campaign for Kamala? Okay, so people just saying regular shit, ain't really saying nothing crazy. So let me see if so that was the last thing. I think let me see. 'Cause I seen something else. Alright, so she said that, but let me see. What was that other one that? Is this it? Let me see. Uh, It says, oh shit, my bad, yo. Bro, why is this doing this? Hold on. Should have been playing. Let me see. Alright. Let me make this smaller. My bad. Tripping, yo. Tripping, B. Damn, I'm sitting here running my mouth and I ain't even got the fucking post up. God damn. Let me see. Hold on. Let me click back on that. So it says Jay-Z dated Foxy Brown when she was 15 and took her virginity. He was 23. Jay-Z was going out with Aaliyah when she was 15, 16, or 17, and he was 26, 27, or 28. Jay-Z met Beyonce at 16 and started dating her when she was 18, 19, and he was 30. Jay-Z signed Rihanna at 16, and she said in an interview that she was flown to meet Jay-Z, who wouldn't let her leave until she signed the contract and locked her in the office until 3 a.m. And she put up an emoji, true or false. Okay. So basically, I wanted to play that. I mean, I wanted to show that real quick just to stir some shit up before I get into that. That's gonna be the last thing I talk about. But I want to get into this first John. So Nicki Minaj basically, she supports Donald Trump. So she's supporting Donald Trump. It's a lot of shit going on with Nicki right now. People wanted to get her deported or something like that, and then Trump gave her one of the Trump cards, the gold cards. Man, this stuff is crazy, man. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. It's just so much. It's just so much going on right now, and I'm always like being involved, being like into this and talking about these different stories, especially with politics. It's just that I'm gonna have everything in the back of my mind saying this is just a distraction. That's all it is. But at the same time, they wanted Donald Trump to drop these files, and he's doing that. But now it's a lot of people being shown in these files, and no, listen, no matter what, you even taking a picture or being associated with this guy Jeffrey Epstein now is gonna make your stock go down. So I don't believe. Let me see. Let me make sure real fast before I move on. Well, I'm not moving on from that subject, but kind of want to see some. Uh, Cause I don't think let me see. I don't think he said anything. Yeah, he has not officially said he doesn't made a statement. But knowing Jay Z is not really gonna say anything right now. He's gonna probably talk to lawyers and try to take you know, the best route about it. But I'm not gonna sit there like all of this is allegedly. We don't really know for sure, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But let's get to this first story.
Look at my hand right here. I'm literally shaking right now. That's not coffee, because I think without a shadow of doubt, we can prove that Jeffrey Epstein, I think the whole world knew he didn't unalive himself. I have to say unalive. I know it's a stupid word. I just don't want these videos to get taken down. I want the truth to get out there. They essentially take these videos down if you use certain language because kids will end up. Anyway, I know I'm frantic. I'm crazy. We have now new evidence in the new Epstein files drop. It just gets crazier and crazier. I've done an entire series of this. Oh my God, I'm going to tell you everything. I know what you're thinking, Nez. You're completely nuts. I'm not completely nuts. You know me. I always back everything up with evidence. I'm the most skeptical skeptic in the skeptic tank. Did I just say that? Yeah. Nobody's more skeptical than I am. When I get this stuff come across my desk, I'm always the first to go, that is complete BS. This is not clickbait. This is not sensationalism. This is scary, which is why I'm shaking. Okay, let me catch my breath. The individual who anonymously posted on 4chan the morning of Epstein's death, August 10th, 2019, claiming he witnessed weird happenings at the prison before Epstein's death, has been identified in the Epstein files. If you're wondering what in the world is 4chan, I'm going to show you the post. The post is insane. Then I'm going to show you the proof and the evidence that this guy actually worked at the prison. He was actually a legitimate person, because this post got so much pushback for being completely false, just a way to draw attention, a bunch of BS. 4chan is like this anonymous website board where you can literally post any.
Well, you know, if listen, anything they don't want you to know, of course they're gonna call you crazy. I mean, look at Kanye, bro. For years, people call Kanye crazy. You know, he's anti, Semite, whatever the fuck it is, anti-Semitic. And like now you start to see so much stuff coming out where you like, hold up. Yo, like Kanye been talking about this stuff. You know, people been talking about a lot of this stuff that we're gonna talk about today. And my thing is people crazy or is this stuff really going on, man? I believe it's probably going on because living in such a demonic world, especially right now, bro. The world has never been more demonic until now, bro. Like, if I think like we're in the most demonic times ever, bro.
Anything about anything. It's completely 100% anonymous. Thereby, it's sort of one of those websites that's supposed to nurture and cultivate truth telling, and you get all sorts of weird stuff on there, and cool stuff, and interesting stuff, and BS stuff. But this was one of those things that the whole world stopped when this post came on this anonymous website board. And I'm going to read it for you, exactly what it said. It's so haunting. It's so insane. And then I'm going to prove to you what the new Epstein files just showed. So buckle up, children. This is going to be a ride you're never going to forget. Okay, but just really quickly, I have to share this because this has helped so many people. Rarely one partner with him unalived himself. And you can see the date. That was the morning of that the whole world was told, Saturday, August 10th, 2019, that Epstein unalived himself. But check out the message. Not saying anything after this. Please do not try to dox me. But last night after 0415, count, they took him medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Hey, by the way, guys, I am not one of these people who has depression or anxiety. So if something happens to me, please let this record show that I'm fine. I'm happy. I love my life. I love what I do. I love my kids. I love my wife. I'm kind of getting scared here, even sharing this. Oh, okay. Sorry. So not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up.
This is
We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in. Look, he capitalized. Let me zoom in a little more. He capitalized not. Here's the thing. So, I mean, you can tell by the way that he's writing
crazy.
this.
This nigga said, my bad. Let me finish.
Obviously,
this is crazy.
and this is why a lot of people took it seriously when it first was posted.
Yeah.
And since shared all over, but there was no verification. There was no proof that this guy actually was real until now. But you can tell by the way that he talks about the process.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at this, bro. This guy. Just imagine, like, he at the end he says, "You guys, I am shaking right now," but I think they switched him out. Like, my thing is this: why would somebody randomly say this? And he's giving you detailed shit that that they do, that they can do, obviously, because he's saying that this stuff is not normal. they don't normally release anybody at these times. So having this van pull up was suspicious. You know what I'm saying? And then coincidentally, that same night he unalives himself. So this is crazy. This is crazy, man. But people been saying this though, and this guy had connections, networks, and the ability to do so. Let's be honest, you know. So, this stuff is crazy, bro.
Protocol.
Oh man,
You know, what normally happens
yeah.
when somebody, you know, needs medical or what have you.
And why would
He really understands.
and why would this guy, right? Because think about it. You're gonna risk everything. This guy, I don't know. I don't know if anything happens to this guy. I don't know who this guy is. It says anonymous, but whoever this guy is, put it all on the line. Put it all on the line. Put his life on the line. Just a CEO that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like he has no involvement in this, but he was so like suspicious of this that he posted it anyway. But why? Why would he do that? Why would he risk everything to put out some bullshit? I mean, I guess people do crazy shit.
And we didn't know it was a he until now.
This is crazy.
What the whole entire process and system is. Anyway, so not here's the thing: the trip van did not. I really apologize. I'm shaking right now. Did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number. And a guy in a green dress military outfit. Oh, it gets creepier and creepier. So did not sign in, did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. And this is what I highlighted. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. Oh my God, the hairs on my arm are just, I'm sorry. I know you guys might think I'm being dramatic. This is really creepy stuff. So here is that same person and that same exact post that I just read for you directly from the anonymous message boarding site called 4chan. So this person has now been identified in the Epstein files. His name is Robert Grijalva. He's an officer at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. He has been identified as the anonymous prison employee who posted this, claiming Epstein left his cell Friday evening shackled in a medical wheelchair, while at the same time, an unauthorized trip van arrived at the prison, which he believes took Epstein away the night before news broke of his death. The day after Epstein's death, U.S. Attorney Geoffrey Berman of the Southern District of New York opened a grand jury proceeding and subpoenaed 4chan, Apple, AT&T, and Citibank for records aiming to uncover Grijalva's identity following the anonymous 4chan post. That's really interesting, is it not? Grijalva's name is not redacted on his bank records included in the Southern District of New York subpoena response from Citibank for his 4chan post, and ties to the same prison officer, Roberto Grijalva, whose statements were released as part of the prison's investigation into Epstein's death. This is huge, you guys. Check out his bank statement. We now have validation that the 4chan post from August 10th, 2019 is a legitimate eyewitness account from an MCC prison guard that Epstein may have been switched out before news broke of his alleged... I have to say that instead of you know what. Okay, this may sound insane, but let's just examine the evidence, shall we? Let's just look.
So oh, like if this is true. If this is true, this guy is somewhere fucking sipping mojitos or doing the same shit he was doing before. Just, you know, and by now he probably looks fucking like a whole different person, you know, with technology and surgery and all of this stuff. Pretty sure he's not the same guy anymore. This stuff is deep,
Look at
man.
this long view here. A series of 4chan posts from an MCC prison guard appeared claiming a body swap took place.
What the fuck is 4chan? Let me look that up. What the hell is that? Is that a site? Let's see. I don't know what it is. Website launched. 4chan is an influential anonymous English language image board website launched in 2003 where users post text and images across various boards without creating accounts. Known for minimal moderation and raw, often offensive content. It has a major role in creating internet culture, memes, and online activism. It covers topics from anime and video games to politics. Okay, so I figured it was like a regular type of situation, but all right. I never heard of
with
this.
a
This is the
van
first time I'm
arriving
hearing of
that
that.
didn't check into the prison and violated other prison protocols, like we just discussed. From this recent Epstein drop, we know the FBI investigated the person behind this post, and they investigated him hard. And it's now confirmed from bank statements affiliated with the subpoenas that I just showed you that the person who made those posts was an actual Metro prison guard named Roberto Grijalva.
So I just wanted to play that right quick just to set the tone, man, because this shit is getting out of fucking control. I'm not even gonna lie. So much shit going on, bro. This stuff is crazy. But yo, this is not far-fetched. Let's be honest, bro. And come on. A situation like that happening where Jeffrey Epstein may have, not been unalived or whatever the case may be, allegedly, then this is coming from the top of the top of the top because this guy was networking with, you know, them all. You know what I'm saying? So this is above the people who investigated it's pay grade. Let's be honest. So them being able to be in the dark about these types of things is, so they out there chasing ghosts pretty much, all these guys in the FBI and whatnot, because we know that that would come from the top, the top brass or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man. So I just wanted to play that to set the tone because he has some interesting information to put out there that's been put out there, but they didn't take it serious. They kind of threw it under the rug. Nobody really talked about it. So now Nez is saying that, this guy might just be still around. So if you want to check the rest of that video, I was very interested. Make sure you go tap in with Nez on YouTube. So let's get into this next segment with my guy, Brian Maxwell, about
Newly
Mamdani's
released
mother.
Epstein files are raising
All of this stuff is around this guy Epstein, and it's getting crazy. It's just, it's the crazy part about it is just when you think that this, is kind of like, you know, dwindling away, boom, some, and now, mind you, it's Democrats and Republicans on this board that, is going through these files and redacting things and and basically choosing what's going to be redacted and what's not being redacted. People think that it's just Trump and Republicans and they're just putting out what they want to put out, but no, there's actually Democrats that are on this board of specific people, of this committee of people who is going through these files, redacting certain information and putting out the rest. Basically putting it out, but redacting whatever they need to redact or whatever the case may be. So all of this stuff is being dropped. And it's so much of it. God damn. It's like, think about this. This is why I said, if there was something in here that was super damaging where it could pretty much end Donald Trump, it would have been out, bro. Joe Biden and them had these same files for 4 years. And if you want to say Ghislaine Maxwell was on trial, cool, but they had it for at least a year during election season. So, just saying. But let's get into this.
fresh questions, this time involving the family of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. According to newly unsealed documents, Mamdani's mother attended an after party at the home of Ghislaine Maxwell years before Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking. So what exactly do the files say, and why is this resurfacing now?
All right, Patriots, if you haven't heard, there's been some traumatic things that have happened in Mamdani's New York over the last week. It's been so bad that the mainstream media has been doing everything they can to cover it up because it is a lethal blow to their democratic socialism because it's already backfiring. It's already not working, and it's already costing people their lives. Now, please forgive my voice. I was hanging with my son and a friend of mine yesterday.
Real quick too, and you know that Mamdani had an interview too. I wanted to play all this the other day. Something had came up. I couldn't go live. Been working. I just couldn't go live these past couple of days. I really wanted to, but also Mamdani had to come out and admit that New York City is in shambles. I believe it was $12 billion in the hole. $12 billion deficit. So this is why I was trying to explain to people, you know, that all of this free stuff that this guy is claiming that he's going to be able to give you and he's going to make New York so special. Okay. Now, the reality, which been the reality, is that New York City, along with Chicago and many other Democratic states who were sanctuary cities, are hurting, and they've been hurting. And if you would have seen the committee hearings with Mayor Adams when he was the mayor, they all were saying I think he said they spent like $200 million or something like that in a year just on illegal immigration. So illegal immigration is hurting America and it's hurting these democratic states tremendously. But you have these democratic socialist, communist, lunatic politicians who are coming out here and making it as if having these illegal immigrants in the country is a good thing and it's the best thing for America when it isn't, because they're giving them all free shit. They're giving them all free shit and they're giving them all taxpayer money, so it's hurting all of these democratic states and it's hurting America, period, because from a national security standpoint, it's hurting it. But I know I just went off, but I wanted to also put that out there, is that he had to get out there and tell his people, I just want to be honest, things aren't really what they seem to be. We're we're $12 billion in the hole. So, that kind of hurt him. And no, it really hurt him a lot, actually. Anyway, let's get back on topic.
Just some sports and was yelling a little bit too much, and it's really cold in Florida. Today is 42 degrees, so bear with me on this one as we go through Zoran Mamdani. Now, in this video, you're going to hear and see what has happened in New York since the snowstorm.
Wow.
And about the lives that have been lost, man, and the decisions that were made that cost these 10 people their lives. You heard it. 10 people died in Zoran Mamdani's first month in office in his democratic socialist New York. And you're going to see it and hear about it. And I'm going to let you in on something. Did you hear about Zoran's mom and the Epstein files? Well, if you didn't, I got that for you in this video too. So bear with me. So as you see, the New York Post, killed by kindness. 10 freeze to death after Mamdani says he won't force homeless off the streets. Now,
he said he won't. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Politicians are good, bro. They're good at what they do, bro. He said that he won't force homeless people off of the streets because they're begging Mamdani to be there. They all want to be so homeless, like as homeless as they could possibly be. Why would they want to be off the streets? I mean, it's only like 10 below. Like, what the yo? These politicians.
Let's remember who Zoran is. This here is a clip of Zoran. He's only been in New York 7 years. So this video is just from a few years ago where he's going off about the government providing assistance to Jewish New Yorkers. Check this out.
So who is ready to end the exception? I want to hear you say, not on our dime. Not on our dime. Not on our dime.
Now, Zoran's doing all of this screaming and yelling and not on our dime. And he's all about taking it to the rich, right? And protecting the poor. Now, before I get into what happened in New York, we're going to take a trip back in time because you may not have known this. Did you know that Zoran Mamdani got married this past year inside socialist Zoran Mamdani's posh wedding bash at secluded Uganda compound, complete with phone jamming system and armed guards? Guess who owns the compound? His parents. Check this out. Socialist New York mayor frontrunner Zoran Mamdani celebrated his recent nuptials with a lavish 3-day affair at his family's richly secluded Ugandan compound, complete with mass security guards. Oh, the mask, the same mask that they say ICE shouldn't wear, right? He's been on the front line saying that. But I'll carry on. And a cell phone jamming system, the Post has learned. The gates of the bustling private compound, which sits in the wealthy Buziga Hill area outside the capital city of Kampala, were heavily guarded by military-style masked men this week, with guests streaming in and partying until midnight, according to sources in the town who wish to remain anonymous for security reasons. Mamdani, 33, eloped with artist and animator Rama Dawaji, 27, in February. So let me get down here. So it says, he told his social media followers Sunday he was heading to his homeland to celebrate with his wealthy filmmaker mom and professor dad, who owned the Buziga Hill property. The neighborhood is home to some of Uganda's richest, including billionaire businessman Godfrey Kamamira, and a city tycoon with stakes in real estate, tourism, petroleum, and infrastructure, and houses neighboring the Mamdanis easily fetch for more than $1 million.
Dang.
So I just wanted to bring you up on that. So this man, upon coming in office, he's talking about taxing the rich and people shouldn't have this. His family's rich, but he never tells his supporters in New York that. He comes from money.
It's the same thing with Obama and them. You know, they talk all of this. You know, my parents, we was taught not to take more than we deserve, or some shit. You know, Michelle was saying. But listen, bro, they worth millions, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be worth millions. I think everybody should strive for success, money, millions, whatever you want to call, right? But you know, they try to act as if like they're not part of that class that they're trying to bash. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're part of the millionaire club. Let's be honest. So when you say tax the rich, you're the rich. So you should be taxed. So this stuff is getting crazy, man.
He's never had a job.
Jeez.
He's never ran a business. He's a failed rapper. Now,
That's
check out
crazy.
this news story.
Mamdani really was a rapper though. He had like he really was in the hood rapping.
Which goes into
That's
what
crazy.
led up to the 10 people dying in New York. Now, this story breaks.
Think about that. 10 people. This could have easily not happened, bro. Like, I don't care what you say. You're not going to sit here and tell me. Even if you say, oh, they wanted to be there. Like, not all of them, bro. At least 8 of them didn't want to be there, bro. Like, who's going to, like, I don't care how homeless you want to be. Is there people that want to be homeless, that choose to be homeless? Yes. But out of 100, I would say 90 of them do not want to be homeless. They're homeless because of drug addiction. They're homeless because of just financial reasons. The wife took everything. It's all different reasons, mental issues, whatever the case may be. Like, nobody wanted to be out in that cold, bro. It was freezing, bro. I live in New Jersey. It was cold as shit, bro. And you're not going to sit here and tell me that any homeless person wanted to be out there, bro. Maybe mentally, out of there, maybe. But even them, I think they would not. Come on, bro.
Down what Eric Adams was doing to keep the people in New York safe. Eric Adams was not allowing homeless encampments just everywhere like Los Angeles. Quite the opposite. They were actually helping these people and moving them. Matter of fact, I'll let this clip explain to you. Then we're going to see what Zoran has done and what has happened since the snowstorm. Because when you see it, wait till you hear the celebrities that are speaking out, bashing this man because of how New York looks after the snowstorm, what's going on with the garbage, and the people who died. But check this out.
Crazy after this snowstorm.
Zoran Mamdani says that he will end the Adams administration's practice of removing homeless encampments from city sidewalks. But advocates argue it will be a step backwards for the city's quality of life. Ali Bauman questioned the mayor-elect about this tonight.
For the past 3 years, the NYPD has been systematically removing homeless encampments from New York City sidewalks, a practice Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani vows to end once he takes office.
They are simply pushing New Yorkers who are living in the cold to another place where they will live in the cold.
Mayor Adams ordered the crackdown in 2022, pairing police with social workers to convince them to go to shelters.
The quality of life in the city will go backwards again.
Former Chief of Patrol, John Schell.
When you don't have a plan in place, you can't dismantle the one that wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
NYPD data obtained by CBS News New York shows so far this year, police have cleared more than 2,000 encampments and placed 117 people in shelter or housing, putting a total of 513 people in shelter or housing since the practice began 3 years ago. Homeless.
So let's put this in perspective. Rather than allowing people to sleep by the train station, by the subways, attacking riders, or sleeping outside of the Greyhound bus station, attacking people, robbing them, they were moving these people into shelters, okay? Into shelters. Now in California, we see what Gavin Newsom did. Now, if you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs notification bell. This is all socialistic programming. When people start saying, oh yeah, I'm okay with living in a tiny house or in a boxcar off a train or in a trash dumpster, that's them mentally programming people to get away from ownership and be totally okay living in smaller with much less. That is a setup for a socialistic 1984, meaning the movie 1984 style society, where we have nothing. We all live in little boxes with bare minimums, and we're happy about it. Just like they tried to bring in, rather than eating meat, we do away with beef, and everybody start eating these roach or bug patties, where they were saying it's such good protein. Look it up. They literally were trying that here in America, but a lot of the people was not going for it, so it never made the mainstream. Well, check it out.
Advocates say those numbers show a focus to treat the symptoms, not the cause.
We've seen this with Mayor Adams, that the main concern is creating the appearance that homelessness is being reduced by removing people from sight. And that's done without any thought to what's happening to those individuals who are being moved out of sight.
When those sweeps first began, we spoke to Eugene Watts, who told us he felt safer sleeping in Penn Station than he did in a city shelter.
Is there anything they can do to make them safer that would make you want to go?
Yes, you know, make sure people should not come in there with weapons and you know, threatening people.
Advocates say that fear is echoed by many on the streets. I brought this to the mayor-elect.
How do you convince people and make sure that the shelters are safe for them and then convince them that that is a safe?
Hey, yo, just think, right? The cure for all of this stuff, bro, is removing it altogether. If we didn't have drugs in the communities, let's be honest, bro, most homelessness would go away. If we didn't incentivize women to divorce men, they wouldn't lose everything they have during a divorce. If laws change, if things actually change, if they really wanted it to change, it would change overnight. Overnight. The problem is they don't want it to change. They need homelessness because they need people, you know, they need these nonprofits and these NGOs to be able to funnel billions and millions of dollars through. They need people on drugs so they can sell their medicine. They need all of these things. None of this stuff is by accident, it's by design. Bro, you have countries out there that do not deal with half of the things that we deal with in America. And they're the safest, and people are just living life, bro. But they have stricter laws on these things, and they don't allow it in their country. You know, we allow everything. We allow everything here, so everything happens, and then we normalize all negative shit to where it's like regular. You know, everything we legalizing all of these. Just think about it. In Portland, I don't know if it's still legal or not, but I know at one point they legalized like heroin. They legalized, like you could literally shoot up heroin like it was nothing. Heroin, cocaine, they was legalizing all drugs. And it was probably a situation where they was uh like an experiment type of thing. But still, like that's the dumbest experiment on planet Earth. What? You gonna legalize drugs? Yo, bro, you can't make this shit up, bro. Only in America.
Option.
We have to use the power of example. We have to get to work to ensure that when any New Yorker looks at shelters, looks at supportive housing, they see a better option than living on our streets.
Mamdani says his administration will focus on connecting New Yorkers with permanent housing.
Now, he's the same guy saying, not on our... See, that's why these people are so full of crap. You just saw that clip of him saying, not on our dime, not on our dime. But now he's in a position of power. Guess what he wants to do? Yeah, we're going to give free, but he never tells the people nothing's free. Like Eric Adams said, the worst thing a socialist hates to hear is that there's nothing free. Free actually means increased taxes.
Yeah.
But they don't want people to make that connection. So it was all good free, but he wants to give homeless people permanent housing. Who's going to...
So I want to get to the part of the story we talking about Mamdani's mom. Let him play that a little bit. But yo, bro. When I tell you, this stuff is still, bro, this stuff is all by design, bro.
with no place to go in life-threatening
crazy, man.
This is the coldest weather conditions that we have experienced in the city for 8 years.
At least 10 people. Molly Park says outreach teams is truly in danger.
They will not be ignorant. Matter of fact, she's stone cold against it. So this man played on these people's intelligence or lack thereof. So Eric Adams did that and still left Mamdani with $8 billion surplus. Mamdani's programs, this free for everything, free for all dream of a nightmare, will put the city $12 billion in deficit. So now all of those promises he made, they will not be kept.
Oh, so he's saying, that Eric Adams left him with a surplus, and Mamdani's programs is going to leave it in a $12 million deficit or something like that.
Because him going to raise taxes, he's a local city mayor. He has no power to raise taxes, and he knows it. That's why Democrats prey on ignorant people.
Yeah.
Ignorant people say, right on, tax the rich on. He's a mayor.
Yep. And what people just don't understand is that, bro, do you not understand that all these, especially Democrats, but Republicans too, but mainly Democrats, they just want to tax you to death. That's all they want to do. And they play on people's emotions, and they use certain language like tax the rich and make you believe that they're actually trying to go after the rich when they're not. Because I keep saying it, bro, that the rich have the money and the means to move. They can move out the country. Do you think they have to do business in these states? No. Excuse me. Businesses open up in certain states because of, the benefits of it, no matter where it's at. People are not opening up shop in certain areas just because they want a business there. No, they're doing it specifically because they want to make money, and it's a hot spot and it's a good location. That's why businesses open. But if you're going to keep continuing to just think about it, most of these businesses, it's already hard as it is to even open a business and run a successful business. So to have a successful business in your state is a good thing. It's a plus, right? It's a positive. It's a net positive. But they want to keep taxing to the point where these businesses is up and leave, bro, because they can afford to do it. But guess what? Them taxes are still going to be there, because once you put taxes and things in place, they're good for a certain amount of time. Like, for instance, I believe that's how it works, right? Because I know that Trump's tax decreased, him decreasing the taxes, lowering taxes, that expired, I believe, in 2024 or 2025, but then he made it permanent. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so they just, bro, this stuff is still gonna be there when these billionaires or millionaires or the businesses leave your city or your state. Them taxes are still gonna be there, and they're gonna get it one way, shape, or form. Like, I don't understand. Like, Trump was actually just talking about this recently, about how they want to keep. Kamala ran on it. She ran on taxing, raising taxes. You know what I mean? And I think she's just an idiot. Like, she really didn't even understand it. Like, they're asking her, like, well, how are you going to do it? Like, you know what I'm saying? She's just like, what do you mean? We're just going to do it. People stupid, bro. They just genuinely make you believe that, these things that they're promising you are free. It's not free, bro. It's not free. Free buses. How? You got to pay the workers. You got to pay for the buses, the bus maintenances, all of this stuff that you got to pay for. How is it going to get paid if it's free? Because it's not free. It's getting paid for by taxpayers. We have to pay for it. It's not getting paid by the millionaires and the billionaires. They already pay taxes. I mean, they're paying it too. But come on, man. We already pay enough taxes, man. And we need to be fighting about that.
The only thing he can increase is some property taxes. And guess what's going to happen in New York? If they did try to raise taxes, the billionaires are gone. Kathy Hochul will lose her reelection. Matter of fact, she's stone cold against it. So this man played on these people's intelligence or lack thereof. And every intelligent New Yorker who knew it did not get out in droves and vote that fool down. Now, on the heels of all that, listen to Zoran with his BS shtick plan. See, when it's real, when it's not just all talk and slogans and fun campaigning, and you really got to do the work, it's hard. Check this out.
I wanted to first give an update on the life-threatening cold that the city has been enduring for days. Yesterday, I shared that the city has placed 170 homeless New Yorkers off the streets and into transitional housing like shelters, safe havens, and stabilized beds. I can also share today that since January 19th, the city has made nearly 500 of those placements. But at least 10 New Yorkers have tragically lost their lives after being found outdoors. We don't yet know whether every case will be ruled hypothermia, but we need every New Yorker to be on alert, looking out for their neighbors. The city remains in code blue, which means that we are intensifying outreach, that we are conducting round-the-clock checks, and have loosened traditional shelter intake procedures to accommodate as many New Yorkers as possible. 311 calls are being rerouted to 911, so help gets there faster. And we are immensely grateful for the 911 operators who serve as the connective tissue of our emergency operations.
Yeah, all that socialist talk don't work very well when it's time to really put things in action. So in 1 month, he did away with an Eric Adams policy that you even heard the chief say might not have been perfect, but it was pretty good. It was working and it saved lives. Within 1 month, this socialist come in 10 dead already. And unfortunately, glory be to the Most High God. I hope that is not true, but there may be many more deaths before this man leaves office. And you saw the streets of New York. You saw the garbage. Now, check out this story, because did you know that Mamdani's mother and Epstein were buddies? And that there's some alleged ties there between Bill Clinton, Epstein, and the Mamdanis that may have helped him get in office. I'm going to let this play in full screen. Check this out.
Newly released Epstein files are raising fresh questions, this time involving the family of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. According to newly unsealed documents, Mamdani's mother attended an after-party at the home of Ghislaine Maxwell years before Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking. So what exactly do the files say, and why is this resurfacing now? A massive new release of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents by the U.S. Justice Department is once again pulling powerful names into the spotlight. Among them, acclaimed filmmaker Mira Nair, the mother of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. According to the documents, Mira Nair attended a private after-party in October 2009 at the Manhattan townhouse of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate who was later convicted of sex trafficking. The gathering followed a screening connected to Nair's film Amelia, a biographical drama about aviator Amelia Earhart. This information comes from an email written by prominent Hollywood publicist Peggy Siegel, sent directly to Jeffrey Epstein shortly after the event. In the email, Siegel describes the after-party as swanky and names several attendees, including former President Bill Clinton and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, along with filmmakers and high-profile guests. The message offers casual commentary about the party, the film's reception, and upcoming promotional plans, but it is the location and host that are now drawing renewed attention. The email is part of hundreds of thousands of documents released Friday by the Justice Department, the largest Epstein-related disclosure to date. The release is intended to shed light on what the government knew about Epstein's crimes and his interactions with wealthy and powerful figures. Importantly, the documents do not allege criminal wrongdoing by Mira Nair or Zohran Mamdani, but critics argue that any documented social proximity to Epstein or Maxwell raises serious questions, especially for public officials and their families. The disclosure also comes amid continued scrutiny of Epstein's past relationships with political leaders across party lines. The latest files include thousands of references to Donald Trump, along with mentions of Bill Clinton, though the Justice Department says the material includes unverified claims and routine correspondence, not proven allegations. Officials insist the release is not designed to protect or target any individual. To be clear, there is no accusation of wrongdoing against Mamdani or his mother in the documents, but the revelation adds another name to a growing list of public figures connected directly or indirectly to Epstein's social world. And as more documents are reviewed, additional names and details may yet emerge. As the Epstein files continue to be examined, scrutiny is unlikely to fade.
They on everybody's ass right now.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update.
Wow. So there you had it, y'all. You know, so Zoran Mom.
So, yo, shout out to Brian Maxwell, of course. You already know. On to the next story. But, yo, bro, they on everybody's ass right now. But the thing is,